Hello, thank you for being here. Yes, perception. And what is your perception of your life? What is the perception of your environment? What is your perception of who you are? What is the perception of things in your home? What is the perception of politics, the government, your best friend, how you feel about your dog, how somebody else feels about their dog? Perception. And we all have different perception. I took one out of my book. And hello, I'm Angel Monticelli. Nice to see you here. If you're on the replay, do hashtag replay. Give me a heart. Tell me that you watched, because I want to show and share with you how you can have better perception, or a more positive perception. Now, I'm not saying there's positive or negative. Let's make sure that we go there first, because there is no positive or negative, really. There just is energy. Now, you know I love to talk about energy, because energy is what we are. We're vibration, we're frequency, we're energy, just like everything around us. And we are the ones that, Simone, some people have asked me to stop saying hello to people because they're into what I'm talking about, and then I stop by saying something. But I have to say hello to everybody that just came on. Simone giving me a big old hug. Yes. So I'm going to come back. So energy is vibration, frequency, and vibration, frequency, and energy. And that's what we are. So I'm not saying that you have to be more positive or negative, and that somebody that is having a rough time and is talking negatively is a negative person. No. They're just talking negatively right now because that's what they're going through. Let them go and have better boundaries, and let them figure out, because what their perception is maybe it is lack, and maybe they really do have what we call the victim mentality. And that's something that came up for me earlier, because I'm going to be on April 5th, Take Back the Night, and it is a organization that is helping domestic violence, trafficking, and sexual assault. And when I was writing my speech about my story of sexual assault, it came up because I had to really check in with myself way back then in that story of my perception at that time that what was happening and the sexual assault was happening. I stepped back into, okay, am I being a victim or am I an action taker? And for me, and what happened to me in my life, I finally took action. Now, this was like, I have to admit, if you know the story, this is quite a few of, how do I say it without saying it, there was quite a few incidents of sexual assault that happened to me from the time I was 7 years old all the way until I was in my mid-30s. And finally, when I took action. But my perception is that I couldn't move. You have a perception about your life. You have a perception about everything in your life. You have a perception maybe even of me and seeing me out here at the park. And you know I love the park. Oh, good, Jackie. Thank you for saying that. You know about Take Back the Night. And I'm thrilled that I'm going to be one of the speakers there. And I volunteered. That was totally me. I volunteered because a friend called and said, Angel, your story needs to be there. But you know what? Your book and what you in the Shine On movement and the elite Reiki healing and what that's doing, they need to know about it. And you know what? The people were just thrilled, and I am thrilled. So let's go back to perception. So perception is our judgments sometimes, right? It's what we think. Now, as some of you know from this weekend, and thank you for all the well wishes, and that my mama is this kind of, she's got some heart challenges right now, and we're going through some things, but they also are moving. And to go through a house that's really big, and you're going to downsize. And my mama remembers every little thing that we would take out of the cabinet, and she'd say, oh no, you gave me that 10 years ago. Oh no, my cousin gave me that. Oh no, this. And her perception of everything and how she looked at it was, I can't get rid of anything because then I might get rid of the memory. And I even asked her, I said, what is it, Mama? What is your perception of this? And she said to me, she said, it's that's a memory that I want to keep. So I want to keep the item. Maybe I agree, maybe I don't agree. It doesn't matter. The thing is that it matters to her. And her perception is I'm going to keep this. So we're keeping everything, and we're going to go through it later, or whatever happens whenever we move her. But the thing is perception and what you see, we don't always know exactly what's happening. Why do I say that? Because even taking the government, I have to go back in the shade. I know you can't see me as well, but I can't be in that sun too much longer. And thank you, Jackie, for that. And Orlando, yes, thank you. And that is exactly, that's perfect. That take back the night. And understanding that your perception is the way that we sometimes react to things and that we take action. So are you really clear? Hey, Patricia, are you really clear on your perception of whatever it is? And I picked it out of the book today, and I know I haven't been on in like a long time. It's been really crazy with, family comes first, and the kids come first. So I wanted to bring up, because good perception can help you take positive action. And what I mean by that is when you look at like the government, all right, I'm going to bring it up, politics. You look at the government. Don't watch so much. Don't get yourself in a place where you really think that everything that they're showing on all the news and all of this stuff is actually really. Try not to step into that fear and where they're taking everyone. Hey, Tina, because you know what? It's not real. And what's real is really how you, your family, your inner circle with the 5 people, whatever that is, even just like me and Shine, the perception of my life, the perception of who you are is what you create. And when we go outside, not here because it's so beautiful, but when we go outside of that and we start to look at other things and we take their perception, what happens to us? Then we're letting them shift. And I understand that. I actually did it. And I can even say to you right now, because 3 years ago, I started writing this book. And my coach at that time said, don't put anything in Reiki, don't put Tai Chi, don't put energy. Nobody's going to get it. You're never going to get on stage because people don't get that. That's the woo-woo stuff and it won't work. And I listened. It just breeds more fear. Absolutely. And perception, great advice. Thank you. You're welcome. And understanding that I listened. I perceived that advice as true. How many times do you, and I'm pointing at you. How many times do you look at or listen to somebody and they tell you something and then you do it because you think they're smarter than you, or they're a professional, or they're your coach and you happen to employ them as your coach, so now they're going to be smarter than you? That doesn't make any sense. But that's what I'm saying is my perception was that he knows the speaking. He's the coach of the speaking. And he knows, so I better listen to him and not put anything down. Yes. When we are really thanks Tina, in the moment, in human kindness, we understand that the perception of somebody else, the perception of the government, the perception of ourselves, why are we so wanting to please everyone or wanting to understand maybe how things work? And what we do is we get ourselves in that place that we're listening to everyone else. And we're not listening to our inner self and being in that moment. And that's what I'm challenging you today. Because what I want to challenge you to do is I want you to look at what you perceive you to be. Okay, I know. And you're like, what does that mean, Angel? Well, I really want you to write down, this is your action step, 3 things. I want you to write 3 things about perception. but 3 things you perceive about yourself. And I want you to write them down. Now, why do I want you to write them down? Because when you write them down, the universe, your inner self, it actually gets it. So I want you to write it down, okay? And then I want you to look at the perception of it and what you perceive it as, that you probably have perceived it as for many years. And I want you to jump out of that. Hey, Katie, I want you to jump out of it, and I want you to create a different perception. See, it's just like kids. Kids, they only perceive things from the kid. But when we grow up, we start perceiving because we've read and we've listened and we've got the TV and we've got the internet and the internet and the internet. And what happens is we start to take everything in. And that's what I find the perception, because I spent the weekend or a couple days with a 20-year-old this last couple of days. And that 20-year-old had a very interesting perception of the world than, of course, mine. Being here 56 young years, almost 57, birthday party coming. You know I'm going to have one, I always do. And because I love to have them. So, but the perception, and then the perception of herself. And then completely different culture. That was the other thing. Because this person, hi love, is from another, is from not the United States. So even that was even more interesting to have the perception of everything she looked at. Everything that we would say, even our slang, she would be like, what? What does that mean? So I'm really encouraging you, I'm really inviting you to take a look at your perception of your life, your house, your home, your dog, your religion, your politics, your watching TV, your perception of what you do. Is it shy? It's okay. No whining. It's okay. I know. It's okay. I know. Perception of why is she whining? Is she whining because she wants to leave? Is she whining because she's thirsty? Is she whining because she wants to go over there and play with the other dog or jump in the lake? Probably. Perception. I have to tell you, that's one of the biggest things when I have new clients is I have no perception. I don't preconceive anything or think anything that they're going to already think. I'm really open, and when they're talking, I really come from a place of listening and asking them, how are you looking at that? Do you see that that is something you've been looking at for years? Do you really think that's true? And that's the big one, right? Is it true? Is it really honest and doesn't need, that's one of the Buddha things he had, like when you speak, you think about these things, but you can use it with perception. I mean, most of the stuff that we talk about with perception, it's not even true. I mean, what is the perception that you see me? What is the perception that you see others? Thank you for the hearts. Hashtag hearts, please. Hashtag heart, replay hearts. Thank you for the hearts. And I want you to see that you make the difference in your life and how you perceive your life, how you perceive how you want to be. And I really want to tell you, quit watching the news. Okay, I said it. I'm not supposed to say it. I guess, like I'm not telling you what to do, but I am. Stop. Be aware. Yes, I'm very aware of what's going on. I'm very aware. But I do not feed into the fear. Don't feed into the fear. Open your eyes. See. And I always tell people, if you're ready, close your outer eyes and open your inner eyes, and you will see what you are meant to do, where you're meant to be, where your perception of yourself is in a higher vibration, in a higher frequency, a higher energy. And that doesn't mean like the shine on thing and the shine on shake that I teach and all that. I don't mean that. I mean where I'm at right now, where I'm connecting with you and asking you, where is your perceptions? And how can you create more positive perceptions in your life? And here it is. And I've been giving it to you the whole time, is write down some perceptions. And it takes work, yes. Write them down. And then rework them. And even ask your friends, how do you perceive this? What do you think about this? And how do you look at it? And that is out of the Shine On book. That's the action step, because they give you an action step in every one. And I'm really asking you to take some time. If you want to see your life differently, if you want to have a more positive perception of everything, which sometimes will happen with, you'll come up with boundaries, better boundaries too. I always find that. This book, yes, the Shine On book, you can take a secret every day. I'd love to send it to you as I sign it and I send it to you. Yes, you in Canada also, and I've sent many to Canada because I've been there. So I'm international because I've been there and I've sold my book, so I'm international. So I would love for you to start to understand how you perceive your life and perceive you as you are the greatest. You are amazing. You matter. I celebrate you. And you know I say that all the time. I celebrate you. You matter. You freaking matter. Good morning. Good morning. And yes, it's not morning. However, I'm going to be back here because now it's getting warmer. My foot's doing better. If you know that whole thing, my foot's doing better. So I am going to be out here doing some more Facebook Lives. I hope I get to see you again. Oh, yes, the ants are coming out. If you go to the light, I didn't mean to kill you. If you would like, I would love to sign this for you and send it to you so that you can start to see your perception even more positive than it is now. And there's so many different, there's 52 that can help you. So thanks for being here. And the replay, give me a hashtag, replay, heart. I see you again because I'm going to start back. I'm back at the park. And thank you for sending your love and light to my mama. We still got 2 more weeks and it's going to be fun. Shine on, because you matter. You make the difference, and I celebrate you. Shine on, shine on, shine.